So I'm here with Adam, our technician, finishing up the setup. We just completed this install. So there used to be two air conditionings here, one right here, another one right there. Two quite old loud units, but we replaced it with one Mitsubishi hyperheat heat pump. Is what is called a hybrid dual zone system. So this one unit is actually acting as two units. So the one unit is what is called an inverter variable capacity heat pump. So what that really means is the unit, as the name says, variable capacity. It can adjust this heating or cooling output. Because it's a heat pump, it can also heat anywhere from 20% to 100% in 1% increment. So it can adjust the speed, how much heating and cooling it's producing and injecting into the home based on the outdoor temperature and how much is needed. So the way this is a two-zone system is there is one line coming out of the unit, comes into our branch box, and then the branch box splits it in two. One is going up to our attic where we have our air handler for the second floor, and the other one is going back into the basement where we have our gas furnace with our IntelliHeat coil system. So the lower level is a dual fuel system. You can either heat the building with the heat pump or with the gas furnace, depending on what's more efficient. The main benefit of that is you get the best of both worlds: efficiency during milder days with superior comfort, and when it gets extremely cold, you get the furnace backup. So once we're finishing cleaning up here, this is going to look really pretty. They have these two massive units. Now it's just going to be one unit flashed against the wall on brackets. And the other really cool thing is this unit is running right now. It's pretty much silent.
Take a look at this. 6.9 amps right now.
So,
and it's cooling this house. This house total is about 2,400 square feet.
So what Adam is saying here is, right now we're doing our final testing, but the unit is pulling around 7.5 amps or so. This is a 4-ton unit because it's variable speed, variable capacity. The unit can adjust the amount of cooling based on what's needed. Our typical traditional standard air conditioning, a 4-ton, would be pulling
always up here.
It would be pulling
Always.
around 20, 25, 15 amps, depending on
the SEER rating.
The SEER rating of the unit, but this unit is literally pulling 1/3 the power, so extremely efficient.
How I like to explain it, Franco, is this is a modulating unit. What does modulate mean? To adapt. It's going to learn exactly how much capacity it needs to run at to keep it within 1 degree.
Yep, that's a pretty good way to put it. But bottom line, substantially more efficient. We're talking big numbers, so versus the two units that were here, this is going to be using about 1/3 of the power. And comfort. It's just going to be very stable, even temperatures. Looks really nice on the wall. Once we finish cleaning up here,
we're just doing a startup. Everything works great, but I got to run it for a little while and just make sure it's going to be finely tuned and work well. Franco.
So this is our indoor unit number 1 on our two-zone system. Here's our line set coming from the outside from our Mitsubishi heat pump system. So this is our IntelliHeat coil system. We have a Lennox gas furnace. This is a 2-stage gas furnace, and our IntelliHeat coil system. So the way this works is whenever the temperature outside is 32 degrees or higher in the winter, our outdoor unit is going to be bringing hot refrigerant and warming up our IntelliHeat coil. And all the furnace that we'd have to do is run the blower to circulate air across our hot coil and bring heat into the home to the existing ductwork. So the main benefit of this is very efficient operation. The heat pump is extremely efficient when the temperature outside is 32 degrees, but the absolute main winner on this is comfort. Variable speed technology, inverter compressor in this heat pump, which means you can adjust the temperature in very small increments, which is going to provide very stable, even heating. The same applies when the unit is running on cooling mode. Our outdoor unit is going to be bringing cold refrigerant, making the coil very cold, and the furnace will blow air across it, giving cold air through the home, with the big difference being a variable speed air conditioning, so very stable temperature control. And all this happens seamlessly, automatically, thanks to our Mitsubishi IntelliHeat control box. This is going to be doing all the intelligence to decide whether to run the heat pump, the furnace, the air conditioner. All the homeowner needs to do is set the thermostat, heat or cool at whatever temperature they choose to, and the system will figure out the rest. In this setup we also have a high efficiency air filter. It's a 5-inch Lennox filter It's a MERV 13 unit, which is going to capture over 95% of all the particulates. But the main benefit of this filter is because it's a 5-inch filter. They used to have a 1-inch filter before, and one of the issues is they were getting not that great of airflow. A 5-inch filter has a lot more surface area. So if we look inside, more surface area equals better airflow. So they're getting a good amount more airflow through the vents in the home. We also have our whole house humidifier. So in the winter, they're going to be able to have better humidity control. And when it comes to our quality in this setup, we also have our APCO X system, which is our activated carbon UV air purifier, which is going to be helping reducing anything that is biological or chemical in the airstream, such as viruses, bacteria, odors, cooking smells. And also the UV light in the unit is shining on our coil, keeping our coil clean and free of biological growth, allowing it to accomplish its best efficiency, as it's never going to get clogged, and also preventing any cloggage on the drain and the drain pan. And now we're going to take a look at our second indoor unit, which is the one for the second floor, which is an air handler in the attic. We'll take a look at that right now. So we're in the attic now. We're taking a look at the second zone of this multi-zone high-performance heat pump system. There used to be a gas furnace in here. Here's the chimney that we capped off. So one of the biggest issues in this setup is the space was way too small to have a gas furnace in here. It was crammed in there, no clearance for servicing it. So what we did is we replaced it with a compact horizontal air handler from Mitsubishi Electric. We have a PE80. It's a 30,000 BTU unit. And we also modified the ductwork, not only to make the unit fit, but one of the issues was our plenum box and the way it fed all the supplies wasn't getting proper airflow that way. So we make some adjustments in there. So this air handler is connected to the same outdoor unit we took a look outside, which is powering not only this air handler, but the coil downstairs for the furnace. And this unit is going to be doing all the heating and cooling of the upstairs. Our heat pump is a cold climate heat pump. We also have our drain pan with our sensor over here. And it's going to be much more comfortable than it used to be. Very consistent, even temperatures, because it's an inverter system, which is going to be able to ramp up and down in capacity as needed.